Final time on the Sean Lewis Show, San Diego Sports 760. Aztecs and Wolfpack from Reno, Saturday night at 7:30 with pregame coverage beginning at 5:30. We typically close with keys, but as we look ahead to 2 days from now, Saturday night, taking this on the road against this team, Nevada, that's been really so close and defensively has been one of the better teams in the Mountain West. What type of effort, what are some of the keys for you to leave Reno with a win?
The ball, right? We got to value the football. And it's just one of those things, again, we've done at an elite level, and it's one of those brilliantly boring skills. But, like, again, it's so important they name the game after it. So we got to value it in all phases. Obviously, when we have it, we got to keep it. When they have it, we got to take it away from them. Teams have been very opportunistic against their offense, right? Like, there's been multiple turnovers in each and every single game. Like, we got to go produce some of those. Like, other teams have been able to do that. The Aztecs haven't done that. Like, we got to go do that, right? And I know they're getting coached up on that side, right, about the value of the football as well. And then within the kicking game, like, they do some good things. Like, their punter is elite with all different types of balls and kicks that he has. So that thing's going to be rolling around, and, like, we can't lose a cheap one there. So the ball is everything. And then again, it is the basic fundamentals that we need to execute at a high level. Like, we got to communicate. We got to win the pre-snap. They're going to try in formation, do some things, some of the 2Q packages. I still think we're going to see that, right? And so got to be gap sound, got to play with great pad level, got to play with violent hands, got to get multiple hats to the ball, got to strain, we got to fight, we got to finish. It's going to be a hard-fought battle.
Yeah, that is it. I mean, that's the whole game is possession and control of the field, but especially the football. And that's actually an interesting question, because how do you teach a team to be opportunistic? Right, it seems like such a ethereal quality. Certain teams have ball hawks,
sure,
and I always think to myself, like, well, how? You know what I mean? Like, everybody's playing coverage, and sometimes tight coverage yields 0 interceptions, and sometimes loose coverage yields 3 or 4 interceptions.
Sure.
Like, how do you teach a team to take advantage of opportunities?
Yeah, I mean, it probably starts with recruiting, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, go get good players that have a natural instinct for it, and they make you look like good coaches. Unfortunately, we have quite a few guys that have a good feel for that. Again, like, thanks to our community for helping us and competing with us to keep those guys here on the Mesa so we can all be experiencing these great things together. But then again, like, I think you get what you emphasize, right? Like, we've made a huge pivot from early on in the season when we were not generating turnovers, right? To where, all right, hey, like, we got to bring this front and center. Like, we got to make it more of a priority. We have to emphasize the mess out of it. So doing some different things. Again, the defensive staff and the defensive kids have done a great job of owning that, right? Really leaning into it, because it's real easy when they're like, all right, hey, we're going to do this extra ball drill, guys, to generate turnovers. And the kids can be like, yeah, okay, coach, like, gotcha, right? And they just kind of check the box, as opposed to like, yeah, damn right. Like, we're so much better than what we've done. We haven't punched. We haven't worked at the ball. We haven't, focused and finished and made the catch. We've kind of settled and relaxed and just gotten the PBU and thought that that's good enough, right? And, like, they've really filled the boxes since we've challenged them in that way, right? And so you get what you emphasize, you promote and you praise the hell out of it when it's good. And that's the same thing offensively, right? Like, I mean, valuing it, ball security, do a great job with it, and then not press, right? And again, like, it goes back to, hey, give them the freedom and the confidence to go play. Like, again, the enemy's not on our boundary, right? So, like, if we want them to be opportunistic, like, we got to be okay when they take a chance that, hey, we're layered, we're overlapped, and we're going to cover and move together, and someone's got your back, right? Like, so that way when we do take the chance and we do maximize it, like, yeah, it's not a yeah, but it's hell yeah, great job.
This is what you envision from Jordan Napier. I mean, he enters the portal. I'm sure you sold him on taking a next step, being more intricately involved in your offense. He's already had more receiving yards this year than he had last year. He's top 20 in the nation in receptions and receiving yards.
Stop talking so loud about him. Sorry. Like, there's people listening.
Yeah, it's a good point. I guess my question is, what has it been about his development, and what is it about him specifically that has allowed him to take a next step in your offense? Because he's more intricately involved than he was a year ago.
Yeah, I mean, so there's a foundational understanding of scheme that has allowed us to move and manipulate him to various places, right? So there's that basic level of understanding. He's been a full-time receiver now for over a year, right? Like, when we showed up, he was part DB, he was part receiver, kind of like how Trey, when we showed up, was outside linebacker that we moved to edge and he flashed. Like, Jordan was just learning how to craft and the craftsmanship that is required of being a wide receiver. So he's taken tremendous growth there. And all of that is possible because he continues to mature, and he is one of our hardest working practice players. Like, you can come to any practice, and this started back in the spring, and he's really elevated it, and you talk about fighting off complacency now. Like, it'd be really easy for him. I think he's, had PFF grades like above the 90s, which is kind of unheard of twice this year. Like, if you're in that rarefied air, right? Like, I think like how they do their color coding system. I'm a color visual guy. It's like green is good. I think if you're like 75 to 90, like that's good. And like you get this dark green. Like, if you're anything blue, it's like blue chip ratio, like exceptional, outstanding, right? And 2 out of the last 3 weeks, he's been that, so like, but you come to practice today, like, he's breathing life into practice. He's finishing down range. He's got great ball security. He's asking to reload things when he doesn't do it exactly just right. And, it's his desire to be great. He understands what that cost is. We've had a lot of conversations about, okay, you think this cost, well, now double it and be willing to pay that. And he's willing to ante up each and every single time. And he's yielding great results because of his process, and really, really excited about his future, this weekend and, for years to come.
How much does theme play a role week to week? Like, so I would say the theme of the offense last week for you guys was explosive plays, and depending on who you're preparing for, maybe an offense you're setting up to play against really did some damage with their RPO game or their zone read game, or, maybe they stretch the field vertically. When something like that happens, how much does it go into game planning for the next opponent based on just the success they had, even if it breaks tendency for them? Do you look at that and then create an overarching scheme to tamp that down? Or do you kind of just look at, you got to take the whole season? How much does like one single game in a vacuum affect the next game's preparation?
I think it's kind of like the sequencing of events matters. So like if as you're going through it, okay, hey, like last week, they were really good at their second and third level RPOs, let's say, right? Like, okay, was that an outlier, or is that something that, hey, 2 weeks ago, it was kind of feast or famine, like it started to show up in who they wanted to be, and they spent more time on it. So now, okay, hey, it's becoming more efficient. Well, you better highlight that, and you better remove that from, the prep and the plan, and that better be intentional in the theme of, hey, we better stop this for this week, right? Like, if like you see it sometimes when teams are playing up, like all of a sudden, like they show up and they got 6 to 8 specialty plays that's a one-off that, okay, hey, like, let's go fact check that. In years past, as this head coach always, when they play up a level, he's just throwing the gamut at them, and you're going to get 5 to 6 specialty plays. But when he's in conference play, you might see one, but like, don't put that so top of mind, right? So like, you have to look at the growth and the evolution of the team in all 3 phases. So it's it is a body of work. But then again, like, this one's unique because it's like we're being very intentional on, all right, well, what's a new Q do well? And let's go cross-reference, okay, what we saw in the sample size that we've seen this year with his high school tape, because they're going to build it to, his strengths in that regard. So like, we've studied some, big boy Texas high school football this week to see, hey, how's he handled certain things and what did he do well there? And I tell you what, like, there ain't much that you find that's a weakness. So we got to be on our P's and Q's and do a really good job containing this kid.
This is going to sound like a really like in the weeds question, but I have to ask it. So you said, like, against certain coaches you'll see against non-conference opponents, they'll run like certain gimmick plays that then they get to conference play, and maybe it's not as big a part of their DNA as a play caller.
Right.
In your in-house system, or I mean, I guess everybody has their own in-house system, do you code plays based off of like, hey, these are just specialty one-off plays, and they're like almost like color-coded or categorized where you can search them over a season and say, oh yeah, no, when they reach conference, like they're only running like 2 or 3 of them. This game they ran a couple more, but that was a triple overtime game, whatever.
Right.
Like, is that how you can sort of get to the bottom of it faster?
Yeah, we bucket everything, right? So it's like, okay, what conceptual bucket does this fit in? Hey, is this inside zone, outside zone? Is this a special? Is this for a vert? Is this a deep crosser, right? Like, so you kind of like, as you're able to scatter plot it, right? Like you're breaking down the 4 most recent games that pertain to your style of play to do like the deep, thorough autopsy to build the game plan from, right? But as we move through the season, you still see the breadth of the season, and you're like, okay, well, how many unbalances have they? We've seen this X number of unbalanced sets in the past 4 games that we broke down intimately, but man, over the course of the season, they are consistently starting to do more and more and more and more and more. So, right? So it's like you're always aware of
with this
trends, themes. That is, even though, again, like we took the detailed dive of these breakdowns and we padded all these out, and like we know these games intimately, yet like everyone does a great job in their role and owning their role within our shop to know, like, all right, like, hey, this showed up early, it continues to show up, and it showed up in the games that we broke down. So this, like, really got to be aware of, versus this, hey, early non-con, again, they were testing some things. This showed up. It hasn't shown up recently. Like, that's kind of a one-off, right? So you're doing all that. I mean, and, you know, then you're going back and you're PFFing, you know, hey, when was the last time they were a coordinator at Texas, and what were they doing there? And yeah, I mean, like, it's a rabbit hole that
so much
as a psychopath, luckily, I don't need a whole lot of sleep. Right?
Yeah.
Sean, we appreciate the insight. We will see you Saturday night, biggest little city in the world, Reno, Nevada. San Diego State and Nevada, Saturday at 7:30. Pregame coverage beginning at 5:30. And as always, we appreciate you taking time for us.
Guys, thanks. Go Aztecs.
All right, that is Sean Lewis. For Rich Ornberger, I'm John Schaefer. Again, the Aztecs in Nevada coming up Saturday night at 7:30. Until then, this has been the Sean Lewis Show on San Diego Sports 760.